Peter, qual é o teu estilo de vida? Como é que vives?
I'm sitting on my couch.
Nós precisamos ouvir de alguém que não é português, de alguém que tem muita experiência, que já teve em muitos países diferentes. Quais são os problemas? Porquê é que isto não desenvolve?
Sorry, but you're a loser.
Really?
And then he's like, silence. He's like, come on.
Nós vamos precisar de programadores ou não?
These are AI agents. They're going to take over your job. Guys, the money is in the air. You can just pick it up.
Tens a certeza?
I calculated 25 cents of every euro spent in Portugal comes from foreigners. Why is nobody building houses? This is the country in Europe with one of the lowest amount of new houses built.
Eu sinto-me como um super-homem.
Exactly.
Esta cena em que tu culpas tudo menos a ti próprio é uma cena exclusivamente portuguesa? Eu não quero ser pessimista. Eu sou pessimista porque sou português.
I'm scared to become depressed.
Como é que poderíamos pressionar o governo para mudar? O que é que pensas sobre isso? Olá pips, daqui Guru Mike Billings. Bem-vindos ao meu podcast. O meu objetivo aqui é partilhar informação, abrir mentes para que as pessoas possam melhorar a sua forma de ver o mundo e possam ouvir outras ideias e se calhar lutar contra a censura. Por um lado, invisto tempo, invisto dinheiro e faço exclusivamente em língua portuguesa porque é a língua do povo que me viu nascer. Por outro lado, tu podes investir também no canal. Subscreve o canal, dá um like no canal, o comentário também ajuda sempre a chegarmos ao máximo de pessoas. Partilha com amigos, pessoas que acham que possam usufruir desta mensagem e também ativa as notificações, já agora. Ajudem-me a curar alguns zombies. Let's go, Kitipério! E agora, o podcast.
Isto é o Kitipério CdK. Diz-me se sabes qual é o feeling. Fico sempre à espera de ser quarta-feira para poder ver o nosso Mike Billions.
Peter, qual é o teu estilo de vida? Como é que vives?
So I have my own internet businesses. That's what I'm most known for.
Yes.
And my internet businesses are different than like general startups. They're solo founded, so I work alone. I don't have co-founders. I don't have investors, so I don't have venture capital investors in San Francisco.
Ok.
I fund things myself with my own savings, right, with my own money or no money mostly, right?
Ok.
And I try make like websites fast. So I try validate an idea for a startup. For example, I try make a website quickly, see if there's customers, add Stripe to it, like a payment button, right? And then I see if people want to pay for things or not. And I do it very fast. And then like most of my projects, they fail. So I have like over like, I think now like 100 projects
Nice.
in the last 10 years. Most of them failed. Like I think about 5 of them make money now.
Ok.
So that's like a hit rate of
Quando
5.
dizes sozinho, mesmo sozinho ou que fazes tudo ou tens algum funcionário?
No, so it's really alone. I have one server guy who stands on call. So almost like in the beginning, the server would go down a lot because I didn't understand all the stuff. So and it was very scary for me. It's like a computer in the cloud and it needs to run and it hosts all your websites. So it needs to be, especially if people pay for your product, it needs to be available. You know that, right? So I hired a guy, but kind of like on call for the last like 8 years or something. Daniel, my server guy, he's like famous now too. And but almost never the server goes down anymore.
Mas não tens mesmo nenhum tipo de suporte?
No support
Ninguém está a
anymore,
tomar conta das faturas, dos documentos.
I have a bookkeeper, but I pay a bookkeeping company to do stuff, right?
Tu fazes todas as cenas sozinho. Ou seja, tu trabalhas sozinho num escritório.
I'm sitting on my couch.
No,
I don't have an office like you, like this beautiful office here. I sit on my couch in Portugal, and I sit on the couch and with my laptop and next to my girlfriend Anna. And
Não, isso é lindo. Tipo, muitas pessoas me perguntam assim, Miguel, como é que se começa? Como é que se começa? E até a minha resposta é começa. Tipo,
there was an Indian guy who said, "Please, Peter, can you mentor me? I need your help." And I was like, "I don't think you need your help. Just make a website and add Stripe and then start selling something. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You need to start something." I think action is, like, people know this about me, but action is the most important step. Because most people in life are constantly procrastinating.
yeah. Toda a gente é assim. Curiosidade, tipo, quantas línguas falas?
So I speak Dutch. In Holland, you always have German in school, right?
Okay.
You have French. I had French and German for 3 years, I think. I had ancient Latin and ancient Greek.
Oh, nice.
But then I got kicked out of school, so I didn't really finish that part, and I was not good at it. And then I learned some Spanish because I was living in Colombia, Medellin, for a few months. It's very fast. You can learn Spanish. Like, it's a very easy language. And then now, since I live here, learning Portuguese.
É difícil aprender português?
Like, Portuguese is one of the most difficult languages. Even though it's Latin language, it's so much more difficult than Spanish.
Talvez seja pelo facto de nós fecharmos muito a boca, não?
There's a lot of like English and Spanish are very, very. There's a lot of overlap. So a lot of words you can just translate from English. Portuguese have their own words for things.
Se tu já souberes espanhol, acho que deves ajudar a alguma
Of course
coisa.
helps. Yeah. Like I go to Brazil a lot with Anna, my girlfriend, and then there's like funny things like I don't know in Portuguese I think it's different, but in Brazil they say assistir when they watch TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would you say assistir? That's like assist. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any logical sense. There's a lot of these words in Portuguese that don't make sense to me because I think from English and
Os
Dutch.
holandeses são muito bons em inglês, muito bons.
Dutch very small. Holland's a very small country, so they teach us in school. It's very important to learn a language because you need to do business with everybody around you.
Quando os portugueses estão a falar inglês, sente-se que eles são portugueses. Há qualquer coisa, uma cena.
Yeah, but Dutch and Portuguese are the best English speakers in Europe. I saw.
Eu concordo com
Very
isso.
good at this. Like the young Portuguese speak good English.
Mas tipo, então não tens problemas com a língua em Portugal?
No, but I struggle with learning Portuguese because in Portugal they won't let me learn Portuguese. And same what Americans complain about in Holland. Like the moment they notice you don't speak perfect, they don't like to. They don't. Maybe it's nice. They don't like to help you learn the language. They want to switch. In Brazil, it's amazing because nobody speaks English.
Yes, that's true.
They speak. They don't want to speak it, so but they're very nice, and then you can learn very fast. Like I learned in 2 weeks so much more than in Portugal.
Nice. Mas atualmente estás a viver em Portugal.
Yeah.
Quando dizes viver em Portugal, quanto tempo passas aqui por ano?
It's like we went to Miami. Like you live in Miami, right?
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah. So we still live different places. So, but here's like kind of like a base. Where we like to go to Dubai, for example, or Asia, or like we're in Thailand, living in Thailand in Bangkok for a while.
Em quantos países é que já experimentaste viver?
I think like over 40 now.
40? Que idade que tens? 50?
38. Yeah. So, but the last 10 years, like I would say 2013, I became a digital nomad. So
Isso era tipo uma novidade, certo?
Yeah. So there was like I don't know new, but it was. So 2007 was like this Tim Ferriss, this 4-hour work week.
Yes,
book, and it was very famous, very impactful. And then 2014, I graduated university, and I was like, I don't want to get a corporate job.
Que tipo de curso fizeste?
Business administration. So I had a master's degree in business, specializing in entrepreneurship because I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And before I was doing music. I was a music producer.
Nice.
And then the problem was I was very alternative and I was kind of anti-capitalist. Okay. So I was thinking like. I was seeing the trajectory of like artistic people and musicians and DJs. There's not a lot of money there.
Yeah.
And I thought like, I think this capitalism is like servitude and slavery. I don't want to do this. So I need to figure out how capitalism works to escape it. Okay. So I thought business is dead. So I need to study business. So I was like, I'll go to business school, to university. And I did that. And then I saw like entrepreneurship and stuff and internet entrepreneurship, like startups, right? And then I graduated and I was like, I don't want to get a normal job. I want to, do my own thing.
Okay.
And I was already making money with YouTube, with like uploading my own music to there and uploading music of other DJs and stuff. And so I had like $1,000-$2,000 a month or something.
Talvez possas tocar no meu Guru Fest.
Yo, what is this?
É tipo, vou fazer um evento massivo tipo em Portugal.
I'll put it on my old YouTube channel that's not active anymore.
tipo DJ.
DJ there.
Yeah.
I haven't DJed in a long ass time, but
it is fun.
We can, for sure. But I didn't want to get a normal job, and it was getting like all my friends were getting normal jobs, and like you see this university life kind of fading away. Like you don't hang out so much anymore because everybody needs to go to the office and stuff. Yeah, and I was like, this is not for me. Okay. So I flew to Asia, and I'd backpacked before in Asia. So I went to Bangkok, then Chiang Mai, and I started making like these little startups and trying to make money with that. And there was a real urge to make money because my money was running out. Like my YouTube channel was decreasing in money. Every month.
Mas tipo, vocês têm suporte dos vossos pais na Holanda?
I think it's different than Portugal, maybe because we get support generally like until you get definitely until 18,
and then,
of course. But then
what happens then?
Well, then you go to university because university it's public, so it's free kind of. So you go like 4 years, 3 years bachelor, and then 1 year master maybe. But you can extend it. You can I extended it for a long time. I was like 27 when I graduated. So, but they support maybe like €200 a month or something, and then you also get government support, right? You get like I think €400, so it's nice.
E depois, não podes voltar para a casa dos teus pais?
That's like a lot. I know a lot of people in Portugal and Spain, Italy do live with their parents very long, right? Yeah. But in Holland, that's like you don't want to do that.
Não? Porquê?
you have to move out at 18, otherwise it's like it's not good, like it's not really.
Eu gosto desse mindset.
It's like sorry, but you're a loser. In Holland, you're a loser. If you're still in your parents at 19, you're a loser.
Ok.
That's how it works.
É como os States, certo?
It's the same as US. Yeah, you gotta. I think UK is similar. You gotta go to college. Because you gotta like spread your wings. You gotta You gotta be independent. Learn how life works, and it's very, very important. I think from going away from your parents.
I agree.
Or you stay a child.
É isso. E ainda és uma criança até aos 40 anos de idade.
Yeah, but you cannot blame a lot of people in Southern Europe because the costs of rent and stuff. It's very difficult to move out.
Largar a casa dos pais é difícil, não é? A questão é, tu não queres tratar de roupa, tu não queres, tratar das coisas todas de casa, tu queres o lifestyle, não é?
It's a nice life, with your parents. Like, it's nice
tu não queres diminuir o nível da qualidade de vida. É a cena. Para mim, para os meus putos, vai ser 18 anos, tens de tirar bilhete. Tipo, e tens que mudar de país.
That thinks so too. Yeah, I think leaving my country was so integral to my brain development.
Oh, nice.
Like, was so I studied... So I had a student exchange program in 2009. I went to Korea and then I studied there for like 3 months. Okay. And then I backpacked also. And that's how I kind of discovered like outside Europe, like because we would go on holiday to Italy or something, right? But that's it. I didn't know about this other world. It was like, wow, there's a whole world. And it's such a fundamental change of your brain, like going abroad. And I mean, that's what the Portuguese are famous for, like 400 years ago, going abroad and exploring the world. So in Dutch too,
Vocês foram mais espertos que nós.
Yeah, Dutch took all your colonies, and then the British took our colonies, and then the Americans took the British. So now the Chinese. So it's
the same.
Yeah, but I think it's very, very important. Yeah.
O dinheiro estava a acabar, certo?
Yeah, the YouTube money was going down, and so there was like a real priority to start making money. And so I was trying anything. I was trying to sell like flip books, like GIF flip books, animated GIFs, like these videos.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can print your own. So I found a guy in Malaysia that did like flip books. So I was like, I'll cut down the GIF in frames and I'll print them as a flip book and sell it for like $30. And they worked a little bit, but then I was like, these physical products are very, like when you're on physical products, so
it's hard.
Very difficult.
Super complexo.
You need to go premium or there's no margins.
Yes.
You need people send stuff back, like things don't arrive, like it's very difficult. And I was like, okay, no physical business anymore. I'll try internet business more. And I kept trying stuff.
Mas tu o lifestyle era assim? Tu estavas a trabalhavas no hotel e...
Yeah, so I was staying in hostels, but with private rooms. So it was like the cheapest. So you could get like a €10 per night hostel with private room in Bangkok or something. You could get cheaper in Chiang Mai then. This was like 10 years ago, or more than 10, 2013. I would spend like $200 a month on a private room hostel in Chiang Mai. So I would wake up. It was a very small room with AC, like proper good room. And then I would go down. I would buy coffee, have breakfast or something. Then I would go to the co-working space, work. I would work until like 5 a.m. or something, or maybe 6 a.m. even, because then it was silent. There was no other people. Then I would walk home to the hostel, which was on the other side of the city in Chiang Mai, and there would be like street dogs chasing me, very scary.
Really?
There's a lot of street dogs, and at night they're like really aggressive. So man, it's very scary. You get like tingles on your back from the fear.
Oh.
But then I would arrive in a hotel. I would go to McDonald's and get the, what do you call this McMuffin, this horrible thing, like for breakfast. The only thing they had for breakfast. I would eat that, and then I would go sleep, and then I would do the same thing again next day.
Okay.
So very like productive workflow of just to like work, and yeah.
Mas quando olhas para trás, tu achas que esse processo te ajudou a ficar mais produtivo e a desenvolver essas competências de produtividade em ti?
Yeah, I think, you need like the beginning of your career, right? It's like you need this grunt work. Like you probably did the same. You did to start from nothing to something. You need so much
24/7.
Exactly. It's and it's like in horrible conditions. Like
quer dizer,
you don't have money, so you have no. There's no this. So you need to do whatever, and but the time also now, if we look back, both is a romantic time. It's like the good old days, you know.
Eu não quero voltar.
No, I don't want to go back, but it's a romantic kind of vibe. It's like a rose-colored, but it was not horrible. It was kind of fun. Like
divertido, foi porque não foi para sempre.
Exactly, yeah. And you're building up some, but it's cool.
Porque estás a crescer.
Yeah, because now it's more like you're successful. You're kind of like, and probably you have more ambition, so you still grow. But it's this arch is like insane. You go from nothing to something. It's cool to experience.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
It's grunt work, and it's like I I think you need to get through that to get to real. Like you can't, like you see now, people when they start businesses, they immediately want to be like Google. Like they make their landing pages look immediately beautiful.
Yes.
If you look at Google's first version, it was nothing. It was like I saw it recently in archive.org. I went in the Wayback Machine and I typed Google, and then the first version is literally just text like with some links, and there's not even a search box. It didn't even work. So you need to start very, very basic.
No princípio, eu lembro-me, tinha bué de business plans, bué de planos. O problema é que as merdas não funcionam. Tu tens de estar sempre trial and error. E não sei em relação a ti, para mim foi pela experiência. O meu primeiro projeto, o meu segundo projeto, o meu terceiro projeto não funcionaram. Só pá, o quarto projeto é como
I think my seventh. Yeah, but there was also, I mean, when you start counting, you know, because I ordered projects as a kid.
Exactly.
Like where these,
it was the same.
Yeah, but kind of like 7, like real, like startup thing. And yeah.
E tu ficas deprimido, meu. Começas a pensar, meu, será que esta merda é?
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, I made music, so I remember like my best friend got signed to this big record label, and he only did it for 2 months, and I was like working for already 3 years on music.
Okay.
And then a friend of mine said back then, like, man, maybe music is not for you. Maybe like you're just not good at it. I'm like, yeah, maybe I suck at it. Like maybe I should. Exactly. And I did change from music, so maybe but it is very emotionally taxing. I remember thinking for years, all the time, this is not going to work out.
Yeah. Eu tive sentimento durante muitos anos que era, meu, depois de ter tanto insucesso, estás a ver? Insucesso, não, e depois alguma coisa começa a funcionar e tu ficas com uma sensação de, não, será que isto é sorte? E é preciso passar, sei lá, quanto tempo é que passou? Eu acho que foram pai 12 anos para eu sentir que o meu skill set e a minha capacidade era realmente diferente, para eu ganhar essa convicção. Depois de 12 anos de sucesso.
Yeah, I think it's 10,000 hours or 10 years.
Okay.
Right? Like that's what people took. But yeah, you said 12 years, yeah, similar. It takes a long ass time to really become like kind of, I mean, it sounds arrogant, right? But become master of like a skill, a little bit. But even then, it's temporary because the market's always changing.
You need to learn.
So like, who will ask us for advice in 40 years? I don't know. You know, like, will we still be at the top of our game? Probably not.
Tu consegues. Tens é que meter as horas. Tipo.
Yeah, I want to. I like it still. I feel like now I'm still at the top of my game, so I want to keep going.
Mas eu acho que nós fizemos as cenas de forma diferente. Por exemplo, no meu caso, eu fiz sistemas, organizei estruturas. E estas estruturas que são de longo prazo, se fizeres no sítio errado, arriscas-te a perder tudo, ou seja, tens pouca mobilidade, então tens que escolher mesmo bem o sítio onde vais fazer isto.
But I think we're doing the same thing because you're creating systems with like people and like factories and stuff, and I'm creating these systems with AI, like AI robots essentially doing stuff automatically all day. Like there's like I think there's over 1,000 workers at any time running on my server doing stuff.
Os teus trabalhadores são todos robôs.
They're all robots, 24/7.
Nice.
Yeah, and for like developers listening, it's just cron jobs. So a cron job is like it's a text file on a server, and a computer you can write like at daily, and then you write the script, and daily at midnight it will run, or you can do hourly, weekly.
O nosso tema é tipo uma cena híbrida, estás a ver? Tipo, nós temos, acho que é 150 programadores, tipo, então tentamos misturar a parte dos processos da programação e da digitalização com as pessoas, não é? E para produzir coisas reais ainda é preciso muitas pessoas. E os robôs estão a ver, e eu acho que os robôs vão melhorar muito a qualidade de vida de toda a gente. Mas queria fazer uma pergunta que era, tu estavas a estudar administração, certo?
Yeah, business administration. So it's also management, it's finance, all these business things.
Tu estavas a programar todos os dias, certo?
Yeah. So I always was with computers working a little bit, but I was never good at coding. Like, but then this YouTube channel that I made for music, I started uploading my own music in 2006 or 2008 because I made my own music album. And I printed like CDs. I had like 1,000 CDs. I had like in the box with the album and everything. And I sold them, and I sold most of them. And I was like, I need to, like YouTube back then did not have music. YouTube back then was only like small, short videos, like 5-minute videos. There was a video limit. So I was like, I'll upload my songs. That's about 5 minutes. So I'll upload them as a song each. And then I got a message from YouTube, you can extend the limit now. So I uploaded a whole mix. And that mix like got like 3 or 4 million views. And there was no music on YouTube. So that was one of the first music channels. So, And back then I was like, for a long time, I was like number 2 in Holland, the biggest YouTube channel, because I was doing music. And then I started quickly spinning off other genres because I was in drum and bass music, like jungle drum and bass. And then I was like, let's do electro, let's do techno, let's do house, lounge. Started doing all the music, and that was going really well. And then I learned to code kind of because I wanted to already do automation stuff. Like I had to upload every time a video with this video description, like links to the artist. I was like, this is too much time to type. Let's make a script that does that. So I made that, made a website with PHP and stuff. And then when I was doing all these startups, like when I was nomading, I wanted to make money.
Tu aprendeste sozinho?
Yeah, I learned just by myself, yeah.
Okay, so...
But most developers,
Okay.
most good developers, like we know this on tech Twitter, we say this, like most good developers are autodidact, self-learning.
Ok.
I think.
Então tu tens tipo problema, tu arranjas uma forma de fazer o código para o problema e tipo...
Yeah, you search Google, like how to make a text box in HTML,
Exactly.
how to make a button, how to send the data from the form to the script, how to process it and then send back. And then you slowly learn.
Exactly.
Now with AI, man, it's so much easier because you can just ask it and it makes it. It's a completely different world. Like,
Ok. Eu quero falar sobre AI, mas já que estamos a falar de código, o que é que o AI está a trazer para o mundo dos programadores?
man, it's amazing. Like I mean, I'm like tech optimist, you know?
Okay.
So if you ask me, it's like it's the best time ever to be coder. It's so good. Like the amount of time I would spend before all this AI stuff, like I use Cursor, for example, like an AI coding app. And before I had that, I would spend like a day on a feature. And now I spend literally like 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's so much fast. And man, it's not perfect. Like I know AI is not perfect.
Not perfect.
Like 20% of the time it makes a mess.
Yeah.
But it can fix that mess also if it needs a director.
Exactly.
Like you need to sit there.
Alguns dos meus programadores dizem eu sinto-me como super-homem.
Exactly this. Like you feel 10x. You're a 10x developer. And I think I was already fast because I do things like quite scrappy, you know, like quite lean.
Yeah.
But now I'm like really, really fast. Like
Então, quer dizer, agora tu consegues fazer mais projetos, mais ideias.
exactly. You can build more features, you can fix bugs very fast.
Okay.
Like nowadays, I get bug reports I have this bug board and people can upvote the bugs. And that's how I do customer support also. Because essentially I believe customer support does not have to exist if there's no bugs.
I believe so.
So I have this bug board, I literally copy a bug, the top bug, and I copy it into the code editor, into Cursor, and I ask fix this, and it fixes it. So it's like this automatic flow of like users submitting bugs, the AI fixing it, me checking the code, and like, yeah, it's fixed.
Então, tipo, olhando para o futuro, nós vamos precisar de programadores ou não?
So I think, that's a good question. I think you need directors.
Tipo, diretores, mas eu não sou programador.
No, but you're a director. You're like or maybe in SF, they call it operators, right?
Okay.
Like startup director, operator. I think it's a stupid term, but kind of like an operator.
Okay.
You need to be able to understand code, the basics. Like me understanding Portuguese, I understand the basics.
Okay.
You don't need to understand it very well, but you need to be able to talk to the AI and about your, more like a product developer. Like, you want to create a feature or a product, and you can describe it well in a prompt, in a chat, and then you can see what the AI produces, you can test it and iterate on that. And I think that's not a lot of coding. Like I don't code a lot anymore.
Mas por exemplo, eu vi o teu jogo de aviação.
The playing game, right? Yeah.
Se eu quiser criar uma funcionalidade no jogo, eu posso pedir ao AI cria esta funcionalidade aqui neste jogo?
Yeah, so for example, Anna, my girlfriend, wanted a pink flying Cybertruck in the game. So I asked the AI, add a pink flying Cybertruck, literally, and it writes the code for the Cybertruck. And it checks the other code where this Cybertruck should fit into the code. And then I save it. I press Command Enter. That's my deploy to the server. I reload the page in Chrome, and there's the pink Cybertruck.
Okay, it's pretty easy.
And then you tweak. You add, like, for example, you want to add like an image for the Cybertruck, so you still need to make the image, because it can't do that maybe. But that's it. That's literally it. So, and it's not perfect. It's not good enough yet. Like, well, it's good enough actually, but it's not 100% yet. But it will be in 3 years.
Mas tu achas mesmo que em 3 anos, tipo, porque repara, eu olho para a curva e tipo, parece que está...
There's a diminishing...
Yes, return.
Yeah, it's happening now. I know that.
Comecei aí tipo há 18 meses e quando comecei quando começamos a programar, parecia que era tipo uma toalha, tipo, tu puxas daqui, sai dali. Tu resolves aqui, crias
Wait,
problema
that's
ali.
still now?
Yeah.
So what AI are you, what model are you using?
Não, tipo, foi a minha sensação quando começamos. Mas tu achas que agora já está muito melhor?
Yeah, and the pace of improvement is so fast. Like every week there's some new model.
Ok.
There's some new, and it's not just the model improvement.
Eles
It's
estão a
like,
ficar cada vez mais funcionais.
yeah, and they're adjusting a model specifically for specific goals, like for therapy or
Exactly,
for coding
exactly.
or for like just, I mean, this is a podcast, so in 10 years this will be not important anymore what I'm saying now because it will change so fast. But now, like for example, everybody uses Gemini 2.5 Pro Max,
Ok.
and they name it now like an iPhone apparently, like Pro Max. It's very funny.
Exato.
All these model names are going crazy also, but that's the best model for coding now. So a lot of people are like switching to that. Then you have Cloud Sonnet 3.7, which is like people like it, but it's you ask it to add a button and it redesigns your whole website. So it's like a meme now where it does too much stuff, like it cleans your whole house,
Exactly.
It does too much. So every model has their own characteristics now. It's almost like people, you know.
Yeah, é tipo um cron job. Yeah. As pessoas pensam que são mesmo agentes, não é?
I think it's a marketing term, and people are like, it's because it works very well with mainstream normies, These are AI agents, they're gonna take over your job. But
Exactly.
this is the same as what we already had. They're just programs that run scheduled or
Mas tipo, eles são melhores. Tipo, achas que são melhores a fazer coisas diferentes?
I don't know if they're better yet in everything, but they
Mas
are.
eu nem estou a comparar com pessoas. Imagina, vamos imaginar aqui na nossa empresa, nós temos que responder corretamente aos clientes 100% das vezes, estás a ver? Tipo,
This is the problem with AI. So it's still too random.
Yeah.
Like it makes mistakes 5, 10 or 20% of the time.
yeah, still a lot.
And no, but that needs to be fixed.
Tu acreditas que se vai resolver?
Because there's so much money on this. There's so much money that if you can figure out how to
Deixa-me pôr
fix.
isto de outra forma. Tipo, neste momento está a errar, imagina, 5% das vezes. Tu achas que no futuro vai errar 0,1% das vezes?
I think it will learn. You will have models that will check its own results.
O AI é probabilístico, não é? Tipo, portanto, o erro vai sempre fazer parte dessa probabilidade. Tipo, estás a perceber o que eu quero dizer? Tipo,
I do this a lot. I ask ChatGPT something and then I say, fact check what you just said. Why can you not include that automatically in the thinking loop? And they're
Exactly.
doing that now. You have more like deep research, deep thinking stuff.
yeah.
And they essentially just do like check everything you say.
Sempre estou a fazer lá com o chat GPT, eu faço sempre a mesma coisa, que é, faço-lhe uma pergunta e digo, tens a certeza? Tens a certeza?
Exactly.
Are you sure?
Man, I have so many conversations where I'm talking and I'm like, it's such a yes, man. It keeps it goes along with you and you're like, yeah, ChatGPT just proved what I thought already.
Exactly.
And then it's not, and you ask it fact check. Well, it's actually not true what it just, and this is a real, like this, it's actually essentially like an image problem for AI because it makes people not really trust AI. And data, like for example, if you submit a list of data that you want something to be changed about, like it sometimes just adds other, like for example, cities for Nomad List, my website, I need to check cities. It just adds other cities. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, oh, sorry, add another city to this data set. Like, so this is unreliable. But then for coding, it's much better, I think.
Eu estava a checar aquela tua website de Nomad
List, yeah, nomads.com now.
Tipo, está muito bom, aquilo é super fixe. Eu estava a checar e fiquei impressionado, foi com a informação que tinha lá que Lisboa era mais caro viver em Lisboa do que no Japão, em Tóquio.
Well, so Nomad List, so I'll explain what Nomad List is.
Yes.
So I made, this one of my first projects that went viral and were successful. So it was digital nomading in Asia, and I wanted to figure out, because we needed cities that had fast internet, that were relatively affordable to go, with our laptop and our backpack and work there. And I was in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok, and Chiang Mai was pretty cheap. And I was like, where else can we go? So I made a list of cities, internet speeds, cost of living, weather, and that went very, very viral. And then everybody started using that to go to the next places. So a lot of people went, for example, to Bali after that. Ubud became big. Canggu in Bali became very big. And now it's like Mexico City, for example, became very big during COVID. And Nomad List is kind of like the recommendation engine of where to go as a digital nomad. And then this is the reason why I went to Lisbon also, because during COVID, Lisbon became very popular on Nomad List. And I was like, why is it? Because of course, I'm aware of Portugal, but Portugal was never really on the radar for a lot of people. And I was like, let's go visit Lisbon. And that's how I ended up in Lisbon. But Lisbon's very expensive. So nomads, because they rent short-term Airbnbs or hotels, the cost of living for a nomad is like 3 to 5 times more than a local.
Okay.
Because when you're local, you can rent for 1 year. You get a cheaper price. You get like, you know, 1K a month. If you're a nomad, you pay 5K for an Airbnb, right?
Há bué de gente tipo, que reclama dos nómadas digitais por causa dessa pressão.
I have so many experience with this because the Portuguese know me as the Nomad List guy, a little bit on Twitter.
Yeah.
Man, I've been mobbed by Portuguese, the Portuguese left. Like, man, and the funniest thing is they always use these Portuguese insults. And then I show my girlfriend Anna, she's Brazilian, and she's like laughing about the Portuguese insults because they're crazy. Something about the horses, like Carvalho and whatever. But it's always crazy. Very aggressive. But I understand also, man, it's such a deep talk, but let's start with like cost of living. So back when the digital nomads came, they became kind of like a scapegoat, I think, like a target for Portuguese complaining about cost of living, which is fair because you see richer foreigners come to your country. They are renting places. Well, but the landlords are Portuguese, let's be fair.
Exactly.
The people who sell the houses are Portuguese. So, but I think Portuguese have...
mas estão a trazer dinheiro, tipo...
Exactly. So we bring a lot of money, but then people complain about the price go up. But also, if Portuguese create businesses where the foreigners can spend the money will go there and will create jobs. It will create tax income for the government. It will create general spending, and that's literally what happened. Yeah. I calculated 25 cents of every euro spent in Portugal comes from foreigners, tourists, and the foreigners living here. It's a lot of money. It's way more than other countries.
Yes.
So Portuguese can and they should complain about foreigners, but we bring in a lot of money here. And then second, there are finding us like now, because now the government stopped the digital nomad programs, the NHR stuff, right? And now the Bangladeshi and the Nepalese and the Indians are the scapegoat. You know? And to be honest, and this is very controversial because I know how people feel, but the Bangladesh, Indians, Nepal, like there's a lot of problems there, but they work really, really hard. In my experience, the Uber drivers that I was in, they work really, really hard. They do the job better than the Portuguese Uber drivers. And I understand because there's also a cost of living difference. They come from whatever. They don't have a choice. They need to work hard.
Yeah, and they feel rich here.
Yeah, exactly. But they do work very hard.
That's true.
But what Portuguese do, they always try to create a scapegoat of like first was the nomads, and then at the end it became the South Asian population. You know, there's always a scapegoat. The real target you should look at is why are the housing prices so high here? Why is nobody building houses? This is the country in Europe with one of the lowest amount of new houses built because regulation on new houses is impossible here.
Agree.
All around me, I have foreigners and locals, Portuguese, also trying to build houses, trying to build businesses, gyms. There's no land. The land for sale we cannot use for businesses. The approval time here for a new house build is something like 3 to 5 years sometimes in places.
Construir uma casa demora.
It's crazy here. Yeah. So and this is the same about opening a business here. The bureaucracy, the red tape is insane here. The taxes are very high for business also. What you see is that Portuguese business and locals generally they don't pay tax. Everybody's trying to evade tax here. You know, everybody's trying to fold the governor. You know, fuck the government.
Yes.
Everybody has tricks when they sell a house. You know, like we were
looking tipo dá dinheiro.
No. So I was looking for buying a house, and then the guy's like, "This house is 1 million," but or the real estate agent said that, and she said, "But the owner prefers it's 500,000, and then 500,000 you pay for the furniture." I'm like, "Why? The furniture is not worth 500,000." She's like, "Yeah." There's so many tricks here. The problem is, the Portuguese get angry, and then they start voting left because there's not enough. The cost of living is too high. You cannot get a rent. It's completely fair.
Okay.
There's no new business there's no jobs because nobody wants to open a business here because it's too difficult. Portuguese businesses are leaving Portugal. They're registering somewhere else. They're registering in Spain or in Luxembourg.
Tipo, os negócios que estão a sair são aqueles que pagam ordenados mais altos? É isso que estás a dizer?
I mean that the big Portuguese businesses, they're generally registering, a lot of them are registering now outside Portugal because there's too much bureaucracy, too much tax here.
Yes.
So they're also avoiding the tax. And then the Portuguese get angry and they vote left. But the reason why there's so many problems is that there's so much regulation here that just completely blocks any progress. So this is a vicious cycle because when you vote left, they usually the left.
Eles regulam mais pouco.
Yeah, I don't think I'm super left or right. I'm generally quite neutral, but I think left does create more regulation. And what you don't need in Portugal now is more regulation. Yeah. Because everybody agrees that the bureaucracy here is crazy.
Eu acho que tens que aprender a gerir a burocracia. É bom para as empresas grandes. Because
I know what you mean. Yeah. Regulatory capture, I think it's called, where they are able to afford the cost of regulation,
Exactly.
but new companies are not.
Exactly.
And that's again a very big problem for innovation
Exactly.
for new companies in Portugal.
Yeah.
And what I hear a lot is that people say, Portuguese people are not ambitious. But I think it's bullshit. I would also not be ambitious if it was this hard to start a business here.
Uhum.
You know, I would also get depressed.
Tipo, eu acho que o mindset dos portugueses não é. Eu acho que o mindset dos portugueses não é aprender sozinho, mudar de país, assim. Por exemplo, no caso dos holandeses, há muitas pessoas assim como tu.
I think more and more, because I think with technology getting more popular, with startups getting more popular since like 2010, I think, because that's why I started. Like American startups became like popular, right? Became cool. And now, like, look what we're using. We're using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, OpenAI, whatever. We're using all these apps. iPhones are very important. Like our smartphones are very important. I think a lot of people are very interested in technology, and then with technology comes entrepreneurship, because we know the stories of startups.
Exactly.
So entrepreneurship becomes an integral part of a society, I think. And of course, I think Portugal is an extreme version of the rest of Europe.
Repete isso, por favor.
Portugal é uma versão extrema de Europa.
O que estás a dizer é que tu pensas que os problemas que Portugal tem são a versão extrema dos problemas da União Europeia?
100%. Because it's like, you see this over-regulation all
então
over
tu
Europe.
tens um mundo como isto, tu tens tipo Portugal, a versão mais extrema, a Europa, o UK e depois o US?
Yeah, and UK is like half American, half European, you know?
Exactly.
They're kind of like, they can go both ways.
Yes.
They can go like very regulation if they left, or they can go very American if they're right. So, but Portugal is interesting because it has all the same problems of Europe, but extreme. Like the regulation problems, it's hard to start a business, it's hard to run a business here, the taxes are very high.
Mas achas que os impostos são importantes para as empresas?
I think on the first few years, yes.
Okay, that's...
But to be fair, I think bookkeeping, like the difficult bookkeeping in Europe, is that's the most annoying part.
Yeah,
like,
especialmente em Portugal. De todos os sítios onde eu tenho empresas, eu acho que a contabilidade é o sítio mais restrito que existe, que eu conheço em Portugal.
Yeah, which is ironic because everybody's trying to not, you know.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
Mas eles são muito bons a cobrar impostos. E eles têm todos estes sistemas, shaft e não sei o que mais. E, tipo, para uma empresa do nosso tamanho é impossível não pagar os impostos todos.
I'm super pro tax. I think tax is good. I think you should make it easy to pay tax. To be fair, you're right. I don't care so much how much I pay tax. Obviously, I don't want to pay super a lot.
Yeah, mas tu preocupas-te sempre um bocado, não é? É porque o imposto é...
No, but I really prefer... Number one is that I want it to be easy.
Okay.
I want the bookkeeping to be easy.
Tu preferes tipo pagar os impostos, mas não gastar tanto recursos na burocracia, porque a burocracia é custo também.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm solo, so most, like, for example, so I need to do a lot of bookkeeping myself, for example, and I have a lot of customers. I have like 60,000 customers per year, payments. Okay. So imagine doing bookkeeping on that.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but
mas em relação a impostos, repara, tu tens, por exemplo, Singapura e Dubai. Dubai tipo, tem sempre um aspecto assim meio fishy, não é? Tipo...
Yeah, and Singapore is not a tax haven. Like you pay 17% corporate tax.
Yeah.
I think in Portugal you pay state tax also. So you pay 20% or something corporate tax to federal, national, and then you pay another 10 to 15% state tax or something. So it's different. That makes it high. That makes it high in Europe.
Yeah, it's high, yeah.
But again, I think the most important is regulation. Make it easy to start a business here, to run a business here. Look, there's too many details. I talked to cafe owners, you know, like foreigners that open a cafe here, and this woman said, like, she was talking to her Portuguese bookkeeper, and she asked, like, why am I even what's the benefit of running a business here? And he's like, yeah, not really.
Esta foi uma das razões principais para eu te convidar, que é, nós precisamos de ouvir de alguém que não é português, de alguém que tem muita experiência, que já teve em muitos países diferentes. Quais são os problemas? Porque é que isto não desenvolve? E tipo, porque é que nem os estrangeiros estão satisfeitos aqui a fazer negócios? Right?
Well, it's so stupid. So they attracted all these foreigners to Portugal, and a lot of them have businesses, and a lot of them would love to move their business here too. But of course, you won't do that because it's too difficult here. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big issue. But man,
tens uma ideia para uma solução?
Yeah, I think, man, it's difficult, you know, but. If you look at
se fosse o rei de Portugal, como eu,
you want to start a monarchy, I know. Yeah. Everybody tells me. My personal trainer, Ana Duarte, she's a big fan of you, and she tells, he wants to start a monarchy, and I'm like, what? And yeah, yeah, you need to listen to his podcast. He wants to start a monarchy. I'm like, yeah, I hear more of my friends talk about monarchies actually.
Eu acho que é assim, eu acho que é preciso alguém que mude a preferência temporal da população. Nós temos que ensinar as pessoas, tipo, se tu queres ter dinheiro, se tens qualidade de vida no futuro, tu precisas de sacrificar o presente.
Look, you go to Qatar. Qatar gets a lot of shit from Europeans about, I don't know, human rights stuff. But
Yes.
if you look at Qatar, it is a monarchy. It's run very well. It's very clean. Dubai is super safe now.
Yeah.
Like these oil states, they are young states. They're not perfect. They have their own issues, I know. But they are organizing things very, also Singaporean, organizing things very like structurally from intelligent, like intelligence there is respected, you know? I don't feel respected anymore here. Like I think people almost look down on intelligence.
Really?
Yeah, like you don't want intelligent people to tell you how to structure society or something.
Tipo, é tipo como, eu acho que um dos problemas é toda a gente pensa que toda a gente tem o mesmo nível de inteligência. Tipo, o mérito não é uma coisa que é valorizada em Portugal. Estás a perceber o que eu quero dizer?
That's what I mean. There's a certain looking down upon. Yeah, exactly.
Toda a gente tem um nível de inteligência. Tipo, toda a gente pode gerir negócio. Toda a gente pode gerir, ou seja,
I think the West in general doesn't like they don't care about science anymore, right? If you look at how science in universities, but this is a very political topic. But look at American universities, even European universities.
Okay.
Like they didn't want to remove math requirements from schools in America or something, you know, like before Trump came. But
mas como é que tu tens esse sentimento de as pessoas olharem de uma forma negativa para a inteligência?
Yeah, there's a certain weakness, right? Like a weakness. It doesn't matter. Like Joe Rogan talks a lot about like people these days. The kids get participation trophies, right?
Exactly.
This is the thing. So it's not meritocracy anymore.
Porque tu sentes que tudo é à volta da igualdade.
Exactly, that's it. And it's a kind of rundown topic. I think we've already passed that in America now with Trump, and it's kind of.
I agree.
But and most people you talk to in the street agree that it should mostly be meritocracy. So I think that's good. But look, Europe is very democratic. Let's be honest. Like generally, there is democracy here, but it doesn't really function because it's democratic, but it's not going well. You know, like it's not going well for the countries, but it is democratic. So do you want like I'm not talking about monarchy, but do you want like a great performing country like Singapore? Singapore, you cannot talk shit about the prime minister there, right? It's not complete free speech. Exactly. It's a little bit less of a democracy, but still. Or do you want what you have in Europe, like very democratic, but then...
Quando se fala em monarquia, nós falamos de monarquia tipo absolutista. O pessoal pensa sempre em monarquia absolutista, tipo Saudi Arabia. Mas há muitos tipos de monarquia, tipo Holanda, tipo Espanha, UK, Bélgica. Mas há muitas formas de fazer as coisas. O que eu acho que o problema da Europa é que está num estado já de a tirania das maiorias, onde toda a gente é igual, eu só quero free shit, tipo... E se toda a gente fizesse igual, não havia diferença. A questão é que há muitos países que estão a fazer diferente e as coisas, e começa-se a notar a diferença. Por exemplo, a China. Tipo,
bro, Asia is insane.
It's insane.
And like Asia has its own problems, but the growth there is crazy. And I've lived there for 10 years now, and it's like...
E eles querem uma parte da tarte.
Yeah. They work really hard.
Yes, they work
and
hard.
Everything's convenient. And like, Portugal is one of the least convenient countries in the world. Like going from convenient Asia to move to Portugal is like a slap in the face. You get punched. There's nothing really works here well.
Tu vais ter ódio aí do Pips.
No, and that's why all the Portuguese should travel now to go to Asia, you know, and figure out, see how it is there.
Porque as pessoas não viveram no outro sítio. As coisas são difíceis aqui.
So hard, man. We just did a construction of the garden and stuff. It's just there's no people that want to work either. There's a complete shortage of workers.
Exactly.
The people that come, and even Portuguese have problems with this, the contractors the quality is very low generally. It's very hard to get good people. When you find good people, they don't have time. They're fully booked.
Tudo anda à volta de conexões e relações.
Exactly. I heard this first time, like if you want to get like a plumber, you need to have lunch with them. This is completely outrageous. This is outrageous. This shows a not functioning of the market. Like go to Miami. You have a plumber.
Se tens dinheiro, resolves tudo.
Yeah, but if you have money in Portugal, you don't solve anything.
Exactly.
There's no response to money here.
But you feel like that. But imagine for a guy like me.
No, I think it's a miracle you built this whole business in Portugal. And I don't want to talk shit about. I love Portugal, but it's very difficult.
No, it's almost impossible.
Exactly. Like I don't know why you still have hair.
É muito difícil, muito difícil. E o que eu digo às pessoas, um conselho às pessoas é, se tu queres fazer negócio, muda-te para os Estados Unidos. Tipo, é tipo 10 vezes mais provável tu ter sucesso do que num país assim. Tipo, mas não é tipo 20%, é tipo 10 vezes mais. Tipo, mas isto tu sentes como estrangeiro. Se tu fores uma pessoa super poderosa, tipo, tu aqui consegues resolver tudo.
Because connections.
Tipo, conexões. E nem, não estou a falar de fazer coisas fishy, coisas ilegais. Meu, as pessoas parece que te querem ajudar. Esse é o problema do socialismo. O problema do socialismo é tu não tens escada. O pessoal que está no top tirou-te a escada.
Yeah, it's like the owners of Continente, you know? Like I researched a little bit the supermarkets, like and Knowles and stuff. Yeah, it's like some families, I think, but
Muitas pessoas estão bem em Portugal e as pessoas não querem mudar coisas. Os políticos não querem mudar coisas.
you see, I lived in South Korea, and there the chaebols, the LG, Samsung, are the big giant corporations. They are completely infiltrating into the government there. Like they run, like Samsung, they run the government.
Mas eu não estou a falar das corporações estarem conectadas com o governo. Aqui, vamos, por exemplo, ver, nos Estados Unidos. Os Estados Unidos faz uma empresa. Tipo, tu tens que ser bué de rápido, tens que ser bué de eficaz, porque as coisas são fáceis de fazer lá e alguém vai comer o teu bolo. Não é? Aqui é extremamente complexo. Então depois de estabeleceres uma companhia grande, tipo, imagina como nós, tipo, tu até podem fazer mais regulação, tipo, ajuda a regulação às empresas grandes.
Yeah, like you now, you're good now.
Yeah, we are in heaven. So,
nobody can compete with you. You're already there.
As pessoas estão a tentar resolver um problema criando o mesmo problema. Para mim o problema essencial é mérito. Não existe escada. Tipo, eu não sei se vocês têm esse conceito em inglês, é tipo, tu começas do zero e ficas rico.
Okay, it's like American dream. Like yeah.
So,
socialism sounds more like socialism, yeah.
No socialismo é tipo toda a gente igual, tipo, eles não querem gente rica, eles querem um país rico sem gente rica.
Yeah, 100%. You need this letter. And the letter doesn't exist in Portugal, and that's why you have young people that all leave Portugal at 18.
Yeah.
You have a brain drain. Like if you look,
it's crazy.
Please search in Google Images the IQ level in Europe, and you'll see Portugal, and there's like a recent one came out. It's like, I think something like 90 now, the average. It's crazy. 90. Holland is like 105 now. And it's all the smart, but it's not because Portuguese, it's all the smart Portuguese left. Still a lot of smart Portuguese, but a lot of people brain drain left because no opportunities here.
Tipo, e eu não quero ser injusto, mas tipo, é triste. Nós estamos a exportar jovens formados e estamos a importar gente sem formação.
Man, I would do the same. If Portugal was like open, I would go from India to Portugal too, get my passport.
Exactly.
So ask ChatGPT,
I would do the same.
I didn't understand the whole situation. Ask ChatGPT, what's going on here? So there's a lot of people move to Portugal, like South Asia, and they want to get in 5 years the passport, and then they'll move to another European country to work there because they want to make money, send money back. I'm like, man, it's fair to them, you know. It's not their fault. It's the system that allows this, and it is kind of like an abuse of Portugal. But I understand completely they do this.
Portugal é um país de advogados e de jornalistas.
Is that the expression?
Tipo, é a minha opinião, tipo, não é uma expressão, a minha opinião é tipo os serviços de advocacia e serviços de jornalismo é uma cena que tu não consegues exportar para fora de Portugal. Repara, se tu olhares para a Assembleia em Portugal, ela é constituída em, sei lá, mais de 90% das pessoas são advogados ou são do direito, não é?
Really? The politicians?
Exactly.
That's scary because that means it's kind of career politicians also.
E repara, sempre que há uma nova lei e há sempre uma nova lei de impostos, há sempre uma escapatória, há sempre um loophole.
For them?
Sim. Para eles, para vender serviços.
Yeah. Smart.
Tipo, a questão é, porquê que há sempre um buraco? Porquê que existe sempre um loophole? Tipo como, por exemplo, o dinheiro da Europa. Tipo, ele tem que vir por um sistema. Toda a gente tira um pedaço. Tipo, é assim que o sistema funciona. O problema está no sistema.
Everybody takes a little cut.
Isto talvez seja um problema europeu e não só português. Eu não sei, não tenho certeza. Este é um feeling.
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
Mas estou um bocado a identificar-me com o que tu estás a dizer. Estás a ver?
Yeah. I talk to a lot of Portuguese, and it's also a cultural thing now, but I don't think it's their fault. But the culture here is very depressing.
Sempre. E eu acho que é por isso que eu deixei de Portugal.
And it's the saudade, right? The fado.
Sim, mas eu acho que é mais do que isso.
Yeah.
Eu acho que nós temos problemas desde o século XVII.
We had some good times in 1600 to 1822.
Holanda?
No, Portugal.
Não,
Yeah.
Portugal, eu acho que é Portugal século XV e XVI, e a partir do século XVI eu acho que começamos o declínio de Portugal, no meados do século XVI. E começou o sistema todo de educação a arrebentar-se.
1640 is when the Dutch took your colonies. That's the start.
O problema não era as colónias, acho eu. Eu acho que o problema era que vocês tinham escolas melhores, vocês tinham mais formação, vocês evoluíram.
Yeah.
E Portugal não evoluiu em termos de educação.
Yeah.
Eu vou ter aqui um gajo. O podcast pode ser antes ou depois deste, que ele estudou isto durante 30 ou 40 anos, é um especialista.
Really, this exact.
E é super, super interessante. E ele o que explica é que vocês ficaram com estas ligações e com as colónias, muitas que vocês conquistaram, porque eram. Não eram mais inteligentes, tinham não é? Mais formação, mais educação, o sistema a funcionar.
Yeah, but there was a big money component.
Yeah,
because you were very religious Catholics. We cared more about money. We didn't care about religion.
Vocês também eram poderosos, tinham dinheiro.
We had the first public companies with stockholders. All we cared about was like the foundation of American society comes from New York, New Amsterdam, which is the Dutch. They want to make money.
O pessoal fala isso do tamanho da economia, do tamanho do dinheiro, do capital e tudo. Isso também tem o seu papel. Mas o que este gajo, a conclusão que ele chega é que nota-se uma diferença muito grande no conhecimento dos próprios profissionais da cena naval. Tipo, os pilotos eram muito mais evoluídos em termos de conhecimento sobre como é que funcionavam de tudo, não é?
Exactly.
Tipo, um gajo tipo, chamado Marquês Pombal que parece que destruiu o sistema educacional todo em Portugal. E repara, mesmo nos dias de hoje, nós damos educação básica aos nossas crianças e aos nossos jovens, mas depois nos damos a oportunidade de desenvolver essas competências muito mais na escola da experiência, da escola da vida, porque o sistema é muito complicado.
100%.
E isso cria tipo um brain drain, onde as pessoas vão saindo e vão ganhando competências lá fora. E o engraçado é que o pessoal que tem medo fica.
Man, so true.
A genética que fica.
Did you see the video about the genetics?
Yes.
Exactly. There was a video recently on YouTube that proved that he analyzed the whole thing. He said Portuguese is one of the number one most anxious country in the world or something. And then the reason the IQ dropped here and stuff, their fear of risk, they're risk averse, and it's because all the risk venture people went to Brazil. And they stayed there. And like the story of Dom Pedro I, man, I love the story. It's the son of the king of Portugal, goes to Brazil, and there's riots in Portugal because I think the Napoleon is on the border or something. And then the son is like, and the king is, the father of that son, that king is like, you need to come to Portugal, you need to come back. And he's like, no, I like it more in Brazil. He's like, I'll stay here and I'll declare independence. And he's still the king. It's an amazing story, man. It's so funny.
Isso aconteceu muitas vezes já. Tipo, imagina, há 10 anos agora, há 10 anos atrás, há 30 anos atrás, há 60 anos atrás.
Man, I think because I go to Brazil a lot with my girlfriend and I studied this whole thing. I think it's so interesting. 1822, Declaration of Independence in Brazil. Since then, that overnight, Portugal lost like a considerable part of its GDP. I think something like 80%. So imagine you make like $10,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and suddenly you make, well, 2,000, right?
Yeah.
You lose 80% of your money. Immediately poverty, because Portugal did not have industrialization because it was dependent on Brazilian raw resources like sugar cane and stuff, whatever. So Portugal never industrialized then, and then you have this 200 years almost of monarchs, dictators. One dictator, Salazar, which I think a lot of the culture here is defined by Salazar still. The echoes of Salazar, and
that's true.
I think Salazar is horrible what he did to Portugal. He destroyed a culture. It's almost like Mao's cultural revolution. It was like Salazar's cultural revolution. He destroyed the culture.
Eu não sei se destruiu, porque mesmo antes de Salazar aquilo estava tão mau, não é? Mas a questão é, a realidade atual é, imagina, as pessoas, os jovens vão embora, tipo, as coisas são caras, tipo...
and they blame everybody but themselves. That's the number one Portuguese trait.
Mas espera, eu quero saber isso. Esta cena em que tu culpas tudo menos a ti próprio é uma cena exclusivamente portuguesa?
Yes. You thought it was worldwide.
Yeah.
No, look, of course, this is not a black and white thing, but I've lived all over the world, and there's no other country where when you, for example, just on a micro level, when you pay for a service and something goes wrong, the person will say you used it wrong, or you did it wrong, or you, for example, I tried to pay a bill for the electricity for Empresas for changing the potencia of the house or something. So we paid the bill with multibanco. They don't accept an IBAN, which is another. You need to talk about multibanco. Is another problem. You pay with multibanco, and the number doesn't exist. It cannot pay. So I called them and I said, "Yeah, you need to wait 48 hours. You're paying too." She said, "You're paying too fast." It's like this kind of blame. It's like, which country? You're paying too fast. Like, you usually get scolded. You don't pay fast enough. These kind of things. But a lot of things here, I've had so many times where they blame you. It's almost like I feel there's like a loss of control.
Eu acho que nunca senti isso. Eu acho que é por ser português, por estar inserido.
It's never their fault. It's always your fault. As a customer, the customer here is not king. The customer here is like, the customer is a problem for Portuguese businesses. Essentially, it's kind of like they pay the money, but it's kind of like they're the most annoying part of the business. Is the customer, you know? I feel that with Portuguese business. Really, and I'm not a foreign, like a noob. I've been here for like 4 years now. I've dealt with a lot of different businesses. There's a general tendency here. I think the customer service here is not nice. Not like I've called EDP. They just hang up on you. Or they put you on hold for hours. Like so many things, man. I made a site called portugalstory.co, portugalstory.co, and I anonymously log. Me and my foreigner friends, we anonymously log the crazy Kafka-esque experiences we have here with businesses. It's just so funny. We paid a guy to install stairs to our roof, and then the guy was kind of finished, but he couldn't install it. So the guy who sold us a stairs to the roof, he didn't have anybody to install it. So like normally when you buy stairs, they can also these kind of things, and he just disappears. So like there's so many of these stories where like generally there's a lot of blaming here, I think. In America, the customer is king.
Sem dúvida. E é o melhor serviço ao cliente que existe no mundo. É tipo um nível diferente, sem dúvida.
Exactly.
É tão interessante. Tipo, o que eu digo aos meus filhos é: quando acontece alguma coisa, mesmo que a culpa não seja tua, assume a responsabilidade. Assume. Porque quando tu assumes a responsabilidade, tu vais poder melhorar, vais poder crescer.
Exactly.
Se não assumes a responsabilidade, vais estar sempre a tentar fugir ali com o rabo à seringa e a tentar arranjar desculpas. Estás a perceber o que eu quero dizer? Mas eu pensava que essa cena é tipo uma cena global no mundo. Tão interessante que dizes que, na tua opinião, é só em Portugal.
No, because Asia, everything's super convenient. Like, generally, things work really well.
Na Ásia, tipo, se eu tiver um problema, chegar lá e digo, olha, tens este problema. Tu nunca ouves do outro lado, tipo, não, esse é o teu problema. No,
you never say that. You'll try to fix it. I mean, obviously, Asia is very big, so the quality level can range, but they really try and fix things. And Brazil too. Brazil is quite, like going to a restaurant. I go to a restaurant here on the beach in Portugal, and this is a typical Portuguese scenario.
Okay.
I enter an empty restaurant on the beach. And on a Tuesday.
Okay.
And the waitress comes to seat you, and we say, can we sit near the window? And she said, no. That's for lunch. Because first she asked, what do you want to do? You want to eat or you want to drink? And we're like, maybe drink first, like not so heavy food. We already ate. She said, well, can we sit by the window? No, it's only for lunch guests. You can only sit on this side, like the shitty side of the restaurant, for drinks. And I'm like, this is like this rule obsession. It's very strange, especially for a Latin country, like Spanish, Latin is more like bending rules, Like you bend rules for people. But it's like this obsession, this Salazar obsession of like, we need to follow rules. You need to sit there in the shitty section of the restaurant while everything is empty on a Tuesday and there's not going to be anybody coming today. It's rainy. You know what I mean? Like this kind of things. It makes me pull out my hair. Like there's no logic to this,
Como é que resolvemos isto?
Customer is king, number one, end.
Mas por que não estamos a dizer que o cliente é rei? Tem que haver uma razão.
Because there's no opportunity to get rich here with a business generally. So why would you treat the customer well? If you treat the customer well in other countries, you get more business, you get more money.
Okay.
And it's good to make more money. You get very rich. It's very hard to get rich here and also in Europe with a business.
Então tu estás a dizer que se for muito difícil tornares uma pessoa rica, então não vais trabalhar tanto?
Why would you why would you deliver a good service if there's no way to get rich? Entrepreneurs and also like staff, they need a reason to work hard.
Os empreendedores e o próprio staff. Tipo, se tu estás a ganhar ordenado baixo, porque é que te vais esforçar mais?
Yeah, and you know the wage is not going to change, but imagine a business that's growing, like Process in the beginning, or even now, maybe. I don't know if it's growing.
Exactly.
Yeah, even now. So you work there.
Toda a gente está excitada e viva.
Because maybe you give them bonus, or you give them stock options, or you give them increased wage if things go well.
A vida deles está a melhorar muito.
Yeah, they're going up in the company, for example. There's opportunity of growth. Of course, there's an opportunity of growth in a lot of these Portuguese businesses. And like, imagine if you're a waitress or a waiter, for example, you can go big in the restaurant, and then you can get bigger and bigger. And you can start your own restaurant.
Eu vejo pessoas a trabalhar 40 anos no mesmo restaurante a ganhar o mesmo.
And this is the ladder you talk about, the social ladder. This is the ladder.
Yeah.
There's no ladder here. So you can, like, I think first when I came here, I was angry for a lot of the experience I had with bad customer service, for example, businesses.
Okay.
And then I started thinking deeper, like, why is it like this? If you look at Uber drivers, like now we bought a Tesla. It's very nice. We bought a Tesla because the Ubers was so bad here. In America, it's amazing. But the Ubers here, it's Uber's fault also. Like, they pay so little here in Portugal.
I agree. Yeah.
And this Uber director needs to be ashamed. I've emailed him. I've sent the Portuguese director of Uber. He's destroying these people's lives, of these drivers. He's paying them so low. Like, I want to pay more for a ride. I pay for like a 25 or half-hour ride, like €3 or something. It's insane.
Porque eles estão a vender também para portugueses que não têm dinheiro.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle. No, I understand. So maybe by their algorithm, it's the right price. But these people are suffering. And then they start getting angry with customers. That doesn't help. One Uber driver tried to punch me.
Really?
He so many crazy stories about Uber here. So we quit Uber. So we complained about him. He was very strange. I entered the car and he asked, "What's my license plate?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What's your license plate?" You know? He's like, and
strange
because he wanted to check if this was the right car. You know?
Okay.
But first of all, I live in a villa in a village on the beach, so this is the right car. I'm your customer, and I see my gym in the navigation, so he knows where we're going. So I say, "Yeah, I'm the right customer. This is my gym." He said, "What's my license plate?" I'm like, "I cannot see it in the app because you already accepted the ride." So I'm like, "You want me to get out of the car, look at your license plate, you know what's going on?" He's like, "Okay." And then me and my girlfriend kind of talking like, and then he's like, "Silence!"
Really? That's crazy. That's crazy.
And it's Portuguese guy. Never have this with Bangladeshi. And then I'm like, I want to start shit now because I'm paying for the service. I'm not going to be silent, but I'm like, I've had so many of these experiences. I'm just going to be silent. I'm going to be nice, you know? So we're silent for 50 minutes to the gym. We arrive in the gym and my girlfriend's like, "You need to complain about this on the Uber app." So I write this whole story and I sent it. And 5 minutes later, I'm doing my overhead press and I hear, "Hey!"
Really?
And he does this thing with his hand like this. He's like, "Come out." And it's like, I would say a 55-year-old guy. He's like, and he wants to fight. And then it's a CrossFit gym. So all the big CrossFit guys, I cannot fight, you know, but CrossFit guys go to the front door and say, they block the door, you know. And like, this is nowhere in the world this happens. Like, I've never had this kind of experience in the world.
Mas tu fizes uma má review, eles sabem?
Uber is also complacent. Why does Uber send a complaint immediately?
É ridículo.
It's ridiculous. It's unsafe.
Até é perigoso.
So if you want to do a complaint at Uber, wait till you leave the place that they dropped you off because they come back. But anyway, even I have empathy for this guy because his life is very difficult.
Percebo.
And
As pessoas estão com dificuldade.
People are very struggling.
Mas elas não veem uma luz ao fundo do túnel.
Exactly.
E sabes, quando as pessoas não estão assim a ser simpáticas ou pronto, não estão a ser assim politicamente corretas, eu tenho sempre bué de calma, porque talvez a vida não está a ser fácil, talvez eu estou a ter dificuldades. Claro que se não forem profissionais eu vou sempre pôr um review, porque eu acredito que...
100%. And now I understand that. Like,
eu acredito que as pessoas têm que ser profissionais. Mas eu nunca vou reagir ao mesmo nível da forma como as pessoas estão a reagir. E a vida é difícil, mas devemos sempre tentar dar feedback, porque as empresas, para melhorar e para selecionar os melhores colaboradores, têm que ter a informação. E eles precisam dessa informação para melhorar. Porque nós também não queremos que essas coisas aconteçam depois a 2 ou 3 ou 4 pessoas a seguir aos próximos clientes.
Exactly. And then I tell the stories.
É uma história estranha. Isso aconteceu o quê? Em Lisboa?
This is usually happening around Lisbon, So I go to Miami and then I tell these stories to Uber drivers in Miami, you know, and they drive these beautiful big like black SUV cars.
Em Miami eu vou usar sempre o black SUV.
And Uber Black in Portugal means nothing, by the way.
Mas tu viajas 10 minutos e pagas 50 paus.
Yeah, it's very expensive. But
Mas
it's
é
so
bom,
good.
é bom e as pessoas estão a ter bons ordenados e a serem pagas.
Exactly. And I ask, are you happy here? And the Uber drivers are very happy there.
É, eles dizem sempre que trabalham um bué.
They work a lot, but they also I don't think they're getting as extorted as Portuguese. But anyway, so the director of Uber Portugal should be ashamed for what he's doing. I don't know I think he's doing something particular.
Mas eu acho que é assim que é. Eu acho que não vejo uma solução. Eu acho que o problema é a economia. Tu dizes, por exemplo, que tens 25% dos clientes que são
25% of every euro.
estrangeiros, mas depois tens os 75% que são os portugueses, que precisam de um Uber barato.
Different price, yeah.
Já uma vez notaste que o Uber te cobra mais por ser estrangeiro?
Because I'm foreigner? Or no?
É tipo,
às vezes
estou a comprar com a minha mulher e porque é que o meu é mais caro que a minha mulher? Tipo, a minha mulher está sempre a mandar vir comigo. Tipo, será que é por causa de eu não quero saber de quanto custa?
They check your bank account.
Por exemplo, imagina, normalmente é tipo 100 euros e para a minha mulher é tipo 95.
Well, it's only €5 difference, you know, like.
No, but I don't like it.
Yeah. I think all they do is they do the time thing. So if you get on a slightly different minute, you know, it might be a different price. It's very dynamic. But yeah, I agree with you. I think so. I have empathy for these people. I think it's a structure problem with the economy. But
mas
to
tenta
fix
resolver,
that,
tenta resolver.
Yeah, so I love to fix. So to fix this, you need to make it easy for Portuguese to start businesses, run businesses. So make, for example, tax discounts on the first. Make a startup discount for new businesses. First 3 or 5 years, you pay, for example, an exponential curve of tax. So gradually, so that you can test out ideas. Like we did, you know, and most failed, and then you can keep trying, and then you have
menos complexo. Se tiveres até uma determinada faturação, não precisas fazer contabilidade nenhuma.
This is very important. So minimum offsets for specific regulation. For example, I recommended this to the European Commission about GDPR, for example, GDPR, all this, or AI regulation. Make it work from 10 million per year or something like that, so that big companies can do it.
Sure.
When you're on the startup phase.
Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fine to pay tax, but or fine to follow the regulation.
As empresas pequenas têm que fazer as mesmas coisas que nós temos que fazer aqui?
What do you mean?
Tipo essa cena do GPR.
Everybody needs to do the same GDPR.
Isso é ridículo.
Of course. There's no difference. You cookie banner, AI Act, like it's very hard to do an AI company.
Este gajo tem que ser tipo o gajo que controla esta cena.
Yeah, you need some agent, right? No, everything's the same. Imagine like this safe space of the first 10 million or revenue or something per year.
For sure.
Like let people figure out, let companies be startups. You know, it's called startup.
Eu acho que é por isso que nada acontece aqui.
Yeah, so if you do that,
é muito mais fácil. Podes andar tipo 40 anos e ninguém te vai chatear a cabeça. Tipo, enquanto não fores grande.
But you need to do, because now is the opportunity to do something.
Eles só se preocupam com empresas grandes nos Estados Unidos.
But you need to change this.
Eles deviam fazer a mesma coisa que o US, mas o mindset é diferente nos Estados Unidos.
But you need to change this mindset.
Tu acreditas que eles vão mudar qualquer coisa?
It's like 5 minutes before 12, sorry, on the clock to save Europe and then Portugal in the extreme of that.
I agree.
Now you need to do it, and now you need to think about what do you want your future to be like, because there's no money coming in anymore. We don't have tech companies.
Yes.
Look where all the money. Look at the biggest companies in the world. It's all tech companies. You don't have tech companies anymore here. Yeah. You have some SAP in Germany and shit, but you don't have real.
50 years old.
Why is ChatGPT not European? You have Mistral, and it's pretty good, but like you see slowly, like I've been shouting a lot about it with EUAC. So EUAC.com is my like European accelerationism, and I crowdsource all these ideas of like improving, like saving Europe. And number one is deregulate. You need to.
Mas eu acho que desregular é 2 vezes mais complicado do que.
But it's happening now on European Commission level since February.
Mas tu achas que vai acontecer na economia real?
It's happening in the European Union now. Like after 2 years of shouting, we were all shouting on Twitter about it. Things are happening now. I talked to Mario Draghi, and he wrote a report, and he asked my input. He asked a lot of tech people input, but especially EUAC with all our crowdsourced ideas. We submitted that, and that went to Ursula von der Leyen, and she announced February and March and stuff, all these plans to deregulate, and now they want to deregulate GDPR. They want to now next make the AI Act easier to follow and maybe deregulate. So Ursula von der Leyen is now, she knows what's going on, and she knows that it's 5 minutes before 12. But Portugal now has a chance also. Like, there's so much opportunity here. There's so many tech people coming here. So many Americans, rest of Europe, people from Asia, they come here.
Até portugueses aqui. Portugueses bons.
What do you mean? Like tech people?
Yeah.
You have tech companies here. So there's a lot of opportunity for tech. You have the Web Summit here, and then all I hear is about all this is from the media is that they're like against this tech people coming here, for example. This
Eles só querem aumentar o ordenado mínimo.
which is fine, yeah. But you can increase the minimum wage if you make more money.
Não vai resolver nada.
No, but if you make this a tech center of Europe, which you can, like you have, this is literally San Francisco. Look at Lisbon. You have the Golden Gate Bridge. You have the trams. You have the hills. It's literally looks the same. You have the tech people here. They're coming here. They want to. It's a nice climate. It's much better than Holland. It's much better than UK.
Yeah.
Food is good. Bacalhau, you know. So embrace this, please, because a lot of money can come in here, and it can also inspire all the young Portuguese to start businesses. It's very important.
Eu não quero ser pessimista, mas...
But you're Portuguese. I'm a foreigner, you know. You've been here longer than me, so...
Eu sou pessimista porque sou português.
Exactly. This is your problem. But look, I was a pessimist about Europe until like 2 years ago, and I thought this will never change anything. And we started with EUOC. We started trying to change things. And actually, European Union listened, and they called us.
Mas o problema eu acho que é o sistema. Eu não sei acerca de Holanda e da Alemanha.
Similar problems, but
não
like,
gosto do clima.
No, me too. That's why I left, yeah.
Nem gosto da comida.
Yeah, it's not great food.
Eu gosto da comida indonésia na Holanda.
Yeah, man, I always buy sambal from Holland here. Because it's like the spicy chili stuff.
Eu conheço bem Portugal. E repara, tu estás numa bolha.
Your bubble.
Bolha do tech. Mas as pessoas normais, elas não têm a noção de como é que o mundo está, das mudanças que estão a acontecer, do que é que se passa no outro país qualquer. O pessoal só quer saber o que é que se vai passar amanhã. Eles não querem saber o que se vai passar para a semana. Querem saber o que se vai passar amanhã. Um problema de preferência temporal.
But most countries you have 80% of people that are kind of like following, and then 20% of people that are like leading.
Okay.
So you have that in Portugal too. Most people you ask they're not going to start a business. They're not going to do anything.
Okay.
But you have a few of these Portuguese, like the one you met, Alfonso. He starts a business, for example.
Yeah.
He left Portugal
because
he couldn't do a business here. It's another Portuguese who lost, you know.
Não. Eu acredito nos portugueses. Eu não acredito em Portugal.
Yeah, so your idea is to get all the Portuguese from all over the world because there's a giant diaspora, right?
Yeah.
To collect them, and then maybe and that's why I told you to check out Balaji Network State.
Yes.
Because that's essentially what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to create a network state with these people in there.
Yeah.
And with maybe land.
Yeah, nós podemos estar em diferentes sítios, mas estamos conectados, temos relações. E até tu, aquilo é só para português, pessoas que falam português. Tu podes ser um holandês que fala português.
So I can join if I learn better Portuguese,
é uma questão de mindset, de experimentação, de valores também. Imagina, porque os portugueses usaram nos descobrimentos o mesmo método. Experimentação, trial and error.
Like back then, or?
Sim. No passado. Tipo no século XV.
But man, I think you can try and get that back to to Portugal. I think because you need to.
E às vezes olho para a Argentina e digo, wow, incrível.
Something's happening there. There's a reset there.
Eu fui à Argentina antes do Milei e compreendi como é que o sistema funciona e passei-me. É incrível. Tipo, os ricos todos é que sabiam como o sistema funcionava e estavam cada vez a ficar mais ricos, e os pobres que não percebiam nada, não percebiam nada de financials e tudo, e estavam cada vez a ficar mais pobres.
100%.
E era um país profundamente socialista. Tipo, e é curioso que de um momento para o outro, boom, mudou completamente. E foi para uma cena libertária. E eu pergunto-me, será possível isso acontecer num país como Portugal?
Yeah, maybe. One thing about Argentina is interesting. It was extremely rich. It was richer than Canada. Switzerland, I think.
E o GDP da Argentina, se não me engano, é 600 mil milhões, ou seja,
it's very big.
Um país tão pobre, mas ainda com aquele potencial todo económico, incrível.
Yeah. The resources, they have a lot of natural resources. I think 1920, they were one of the richest countries in the world, like number 5 or something, per capita. Like people were rich. And then a dictator took over, military dictatorship, junta, and it destroyed everything.
Yeah.
It was so, Argentina's was going so well until then. So
eles tiveram um problema que se chama doença holandesa.
I know the Dutch disease. It's a disease. It's where you have a lot of resources, but you manage to so you have, like, for example, you find a lot of oil.
Exactly.
It happened to Holland with gas, I think.
Yes.
And then everybody wants to buy this oil. So to buy this oil, they need like Dutch currency. So they buy Dutch currency. They sell, for example, dollars. Your currency goes up. and your country becomes too expensive, and then people, the Dutch shoe you want to buy is too expensive to buy.
O problema é este. Se é tão fácil fazer dinheiro, tu deixas de precisar de aprender.
Exactly, this is it. Because why would you make a shoe? Why would you sell products if you could sell oil or gas, right?
Tu não precisas de trabalhar, tu não precisas de aprender. Essa é
but there's ways to fix this. Look at Qatar, look at these oil states. They have a lot of oil, and they use that oil to quickly invest now in technology.
Mas tu reparares, tudo que seja trabalho técnico não é população nativa, é pessoas que vêm de outros países.
Yeah, it's a giant import.
Se eles perdessem, por exemplo, a energia e tudo, mas talvez eles conseguissem construir uma economia baseada nos estrangeiros, não sei.
But that's the thing, that's what they do. They build an economy based on tourism and foreigners, expats living there, finance.
Mas achas que as pessoas vão ficar conectadas ao país?
These countries are so strange.
They're
so young and they're so artificial and so different and so international.
Exactly.
It's just, you can't compare it to Portugal or Holland. It's completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
But to be fair, Portugal and Holland are also changing, right? Like,
não sei se aconteceu mesmo com o teu país, mas em Portugal, em 7 anos, mudou completamente.
No, the demographics are changing. And man...
Está acontecendo mesmo na Holanda?
Yeah, same. Yeah, but different people. But yeah, it's...
Eu quando viajo por toda a Europa no Sul, o único sítio que eu não vi isso acontecer foi na sul de Itália.
South of Italy.
Eles são crazy.
No, but it happens there, right? Or no? North of Italy.
South Italy.
Yeah.
Eles lá não lidam bem com mudanças culturais.
Yeah.
Eu acho que eles não gostam.
So it's not happening there. But it's close to a lot of immigration, right?
Yeah. Mas eles não ficam lá.
Okay, yeah. Because they want to go to Holland to get the money. This is true. It's the route, yeah. But I think...
Eu acho também é por causa da máfia.
Yeah. But what I saw so I studied also historical migration. There was a lot of Italian migration in the 20s because Italy was doing very bad. And a lot of Italians moved to Holland, moved to Brazil, Argentina, whatever.
Yeah.
But in all these European countries, never the foreign immigrant population was higher than a few percentage, you know?
Okay.
And now you see that it's getting much higher in Europe.
Okay.
And I think then you get this uncomfortable reality with the original population getting annoyed with immigrants, even if it's multi-generational, but the culture is changing. So I think you always need to have one dominant culture in a country that defines the culture. Yes. And I think foreigners are really good. But I think, for example, me, I live in Portugal and I know more about the history of Portugal than most Portuguese. I am learning language, it's not perfect. Next episode we'll do in Portuguese.
Let's do it.
But you wanted to do more English, so it's fine. But I think it's very important for me to respect the local culture, understand the local culture, and I try to do as much as possible. And I spend money and whatever. Yeah. I want to contribute. I don't take free money from the Portuguese government. I don't want that. You know, I think it's also important. I think when you're an immigrant, the first few years, like you shouldn't get free money from the government. You haven't paid into the system yet. And
porque as pessoas que já são nativas não vão gostar, não é?
No, the optics are very bad. And I think if you're born in Portugal, you deserve some, like, I don't know, unemployment benefits when shit goes bad. That's part of it. You paid into your parents paid into the system, for example. But if you're new to the country, sorry, you didn't pay into the system. You shouldn't get anything. And then also, if you do crime, you should be deported. Very simple.
Exactly.
There should be a probation period. And the same should be in all over Europe and the whole world. Because I've traveled the whole world. I've lived all over the world. I've never had a crime thing happen because I don't do that.
Isso é os básicos, certo?
But it's not the basics because most people don't agree. Like half the people in Europe don't agree with that.
É estranho, não é?
It is strange, yeah. If you say this, you're usually, people get very angry online, right? Like you're right wing, but I'm not right or left wing. I think it's a common sense.
É a forma como funciona o teu mindset.
Yeah. But if it's common sense, after 10 years you've been in the country, I can start getting a little bit unemployment if I use it in Portugal, for example, if I pay into the system. This is how retirement works in Holland. Now that I left Holland, every year I lose 3% of my retirement because I'm not paying into the system. Like, how are we going to pay for this stuff?
O socialismo é um sistema onde toda a gente quer viver com o dinheiro do outro. Estás a perceber a cena?
Yeah.
E não funciona. Funciona porque alguém tem que trabalhar. Não é?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people on the left do not understand the basics of economics. Like, money has to come from somewhere. Generally, it comes from businesses. If it doesn't come from business, it comes from government who's printing it, who's stealing it from the people with inflation. So
eu acho que o problema é não entenderem o básico da economia. Concordo.
Yeah. But till there, I think to fix Portugal, you need to deregulate, make it easy to start a business, run a business.
E acho que um dos problemas também de Portugal é um dos países que tem menos conhecimento em financials e economia.
Yeah, I think you should put economics big in the schools here. Very important.
Mas as pessoas não sabem nada sobre isso.
No.
Isto está a ter dificuldades. Os nativos estão a ter dificuldades. Nós estamos, como tu dizes, nos 5 minutos para a meia-noite, correto?
Yeah, that's it.
Mas para, nós temos eleições agora autárquicas daqui a 3 semanas ou assim.
Yeah.
Mas isto, a realidade é que não vai mudar nada, porque nós somos um sistema de partido único. Tipo,
Yeah. Well, I think you have a very big role. You're like the Joe Rogan of Portugal. I think you have a very big role.
Não.
No,
Eu sou pequeno, não tenho impacto. Eu trabalho nisto no longo prazo, para os putos.
like most people I meet in Portugal, a lot of them know you. You have a very big reach here. I think you just talking about stuff like I'm talking about on Twitter about Europe because
Eu tento falar todos os dias.
you're doing it, yeah. And I have a big audience. You have a big audience in Portugal. I think has a very big effect because I think pressuring politics, pressuring politicians with how you say things is very important. It does have
concordo,
effect.
mas repara, tens muitos reformados, tem muita gente que depende na função pública.
We can pay for that if we just make more money.
Eu percebo isso.
Let's
mas as
make more money in
pessoas
Portugal.
Não percebem.
But they have to understand because there's so much opportunities. Guys, the money is in the air. You can just pick it up.
Yeah,
And Portuguese need to pick it up.
Yes.
Like and start it. Like internet is great because you can start a business easily. Just start an internet business. Write it in English.
Tu és o exemplo perfeito. Tu aprendeste sozinho, desenvolveste sozinho, és o exemplo perfeito para ser copiado.
Copy me. Do the whole thing the same. You can sell anything. Yesterday, I was furniture shopping with my girlfriend, and we went in Lisbon to a furniture shop, a Danish furniture shop, and I was so bored, but I was looking around. There was a piece of wood in the shape of a bird with a little nose cone glued on top of it,
Right.
and it was called Little Bird, 35 euros. So I tweeted it and went viral now on Twitter. It's like if you can make money with this, like what is your excuse? You can sell anything. Just start with something and start selling it.
O problema é a depressão, certo?
The depression, yeah, because you don't see that opportunity, but you can make your own thing and sell it on the internet or make a digital thing, make an app, use AI to make an app, whatever. The first things it won't work, but please start something because you can save Portugal. And then tell your friends, look, I made a thing and I'm now making money. And the Portuguese like, wow, how is this possible? They also do the same thing, and everybody starts businesses, open cafes, and then pressure the government to fix this regulation because otherwise all the Portuguese that are successful are going to leave Portugal.
Como é que poderíamos pressionar o governo para mudar?
I hope the people in the government listen to this podcast, like they're sitting on the biggest opportunity, like that, like faz Portugal grande outra vez.
Exactly.
They're sitting on the opportunity to make it great again. And you're almost, if you don't do it, this is your job as a politician. You are made to serve the people. You're not doing that right now. Like you should be ashamed that you're not doing it. But then you also have a great opportunity and people will love you if you do this. And you should not look down, like whole Europe looks down on America. Like, sure, America has its own problems.
Espera,
It's absolutely crazy.
Qual é a tua opinião sobre os portugueses que olham de forma pejorativa os americanos?
Well, the whole Europe looks down on America.
O que é que pensas sobre isso?
I think I saw some statistics that Europeans and then probably Portuguese too, they trust the media much more than America does. So, and I think the media here is much more aligned with a certain kind of propaganda, a certain kind of narrative that they produce that a lot of my Dutch friends also believe, My Dutch friends think Elon Musk is a Nazi, It's a European thing. And like I like Twitter, I like X because it's it leans probably a little bit more right, but it's also much more free speech, so you can see different kind of viewpoints. I like it because of that, because it gives me I feel a more neutral perspective on society in the world. But if you only read the what is it, Expresso or the Dutch NOS.nl, that's you get a certain narrative. Like
se vis televisão é crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
eu às vezes estou a ver a televisão e digo, fogo, meu, esta pessoa não percebe nada da América, não conhece nada da América.
Exactly.
Ou estão a mentir sobre a América.
They're lying, and man, there's a lot of things not good about America and about
like, problemas tu tens em todo lado.
Yeah,
não é isso?
Exactly. But it's always like you say something good about America, like look at this, like how like all the tech companies are in America, and they make trillions, and then they answer, yeah, but they have homeless people. It's like, yeah, it's true. Both can be true.
Não, tipo, imagina, a minha empregada de limpeza na América ganha mais dinheiro do que um deputado em Portugal.
Your what?
A minha
your friend,
empregada, tipo, empregada de limpeza.
Yeah. Oh, you're the cleaner.
Ganha mais dinheiro nos Estados Unidos do que um deputado em Portugal.
But it's a cope. We call it in English like a cope. Like you're trying to cope with this cognitive dissonance where there's a reality, which is they're way richer, they're way more successful, they're kind of growing, and Europe is kind of not. But you cannot deal with this by just saying, yeah, it's true. So instead you fight it with finding something to, you know what I mean?
É a mesma cena que disseste sobre a culpa não é minha.
Yeah. It's not taking responsibility. Like if you're very objective, you say, yeah, shit's kind of broken now here in Europe and in Portugal. And then what's the next thing you say? I want to fix it, right? Yeah, but you don't want to say it because you don't want to fix it because you want to sit and chill. And then you blame everybody.
Estás sempre a reclamar sobre Portugal. Mas assim, acaba por ser o papel que se tu não reclamares e disseres que as coisas estão mal, mais tarde vai ser tarde demais para mudar.
Yes, and that's the other thing. Like when I've stopped complaining about Portugal because I always get mobbed and I get death threats on Twitter.
Really?
Like, man, crazy. Like, but when I complain about Portugal, it's always like foreigner go home. Estrangeiro.
Tu estás a queixar do sistema, porque achas que o sistema pode ser
I complain about ADP, and they defend ADP. Who wants to defend ADP? Which, by the way, is 80% I think owned by Chinese now. Like, it's not even Portuguese. So you can't talk shit about EDP.
Mas o que eu digo é, tu és uma pessoa que vem de fora.
Yeah,
tu és a pessoa que está nas melhores condições para analisar o nosso problema.
And it's not just like I've come from Holland. I've lived all over the world. I've lived in South America. I lived in Asia. I don't come from nothing. Like, obviously, it's my perspective is limited.
Eu acho que a tua perspectiva é melhor que a minha perspectiva, porque eu tenho um envolvimento emocional.
Exactly. It's like fresh, because I'm new here. I haven't been broken down by the system yet, you know, like, because you become slowly Portuguese, right? The more you see it very fast with Brazilians.
Vai mudar a tua mente. Cuidado, se ficares aqui muito tempo, vai mudar a tua mente.
It will change you, yeah. I'm scared to become depressed because I'm not depressed now. I'm very happy. I go to gym a lot, not to stay happy, you know? But I see it with Brazilians that come here. I think Brazilians are very interesting in Portugal because they start mutating into real Portuguese very fast. And because Brazilians generally they're very happy, very nice. Man, one of the best services in the world, I think, in general, like hair salons, barbers, or restaurants. You come to Portugal, and then after 10 years, they've become Portuguese very fast, and things are not so great anymore. I love Portugal, but this is true, you know.
Tu apenas não gostas do mindset de depressão, de as coisas não mudarem, é isso?
I think if you're Brazilian, there's an incentive. Like Brazil has its own problems for sure, like security. But there's a big incentive there because there is not a lot of social welfare. I think maybe with Lula now there is, but so you need to work very hard. So you will do good service. There is a ladder. I think there is a ladder in Brazil.
Yeah. bocadinho mais complexo, mas
yeah, it's still not America, but it's a better ladder than here, and people can still get rich. So. And then they come to Portugal and they're like, why would I do a good job? Because there's no difference between me doing a good job or a bad job in terms of money. Like why would I do it?
Eu percebo, mas acho que também a questão do mérito também é um problema. E eu digo muita merda sobre Portugal, mas como é que vai ficar que o problema não são os portugueses, o problema é o sistema onde os portugueses estão.
100%. Portuguese are the victim of their own system.
Exactly.
And I think, man, it's like, so I have a friend called Javi. He's Spanish and he lives in Portugal too. And he was very ripped guy going to the gym. And then a year ago, he got a wrist injury and he stopped going to the gym. And I scold him constantly. Like every week we make jokes like, oh, you don't go to the gym anymore. We do that because we're his friend. We're his best friend. And we want him to be healthy. If we talk shit about Portugal, it's because we love Portugal. Otherwise, we wouldn't care about Portugal. We wouldn't talk about it.
Concordo 100%. So, a minha mulher está sempre a dizer, Miguel, porquê que estás sempre a falar dos problemas de Portugal? E o que eu digo é assim, eu adorava ver Portugal a melhorar. É assim.
But that's why you complain.
É por isso que eu reclamo. Se eles mudarem, se os portugueses mudarem o mindset, eles podem fazer um país melhor. Toda a gente. Por exemplo, o pessoal pensa que estás preocupado com a tua empresa e tal. Não, mano, não é. As empresas resistem, as empresas são resilientes. O mesmo aconteceu na Argentina. As empresas são as últimas coisas a morrer. E o meu pensamento não é, eu quero que Portugal esteja bem porque eu tenho aqui uma empresa. Não é esse.
No, you have a cultural reason to say it because it's your culture.
Yeah, essa é a verdadeira
It's a very beautiful thing because you're already rich, so you're like, okay, I really want to improve something.
Yeah, e é o que eu sinto quando tu estás a reclamar. É tipo, tu tens todo o mundo para escolher. Porquê que razão é que devias estar aqui em Portugal a reclamar? Reclamas porque tens interesse que isto melhore.
Yeah.
E tu estás aqui continuamente a reclamar dos problemas de Portugal. Tu és crazy.
Because I see potential. It's maybe the most beautiful place in the world. Like the nature is absolutely amazing. This obviously has the cleanest air of the world. Like Asia has horrible air pollution. people will get lung cancer there. All these digital nomads, when they're 40 or 50, that's very dangerous.
Sério, assim tão mal?
The air pollution is very bad. There's trash burning in Bali. I love Bali, but there's trash burning next to your house every day from 7 a.m. and then at 6 p.m. they burn their trash. Plastic trash. I cannot live like this. So Portugal is very good in that respect. It's very clean. It's beautiful nature. Beautiful beaches.
Nós temos uma
beautiful.
oportunidade, certo?
It's a beautiful country, man. And I do think the Portuguese people are beautiful. The fact that they're here with this kind of struggle, this kind of system that tries to fuck you, and they're still here and they're working hard.
Eles adoram. E mesmo os putos que tiram bilhete, eles depois querem voltar.
They always come back. Portuguese tell me this. They go out to Portugal to get rich, and then they come back and buy land and to chill. And okay, so just fix that part where they leave.
Por que é que eles estão a sair?
Well, we know why they leave, but just fix that part and they can start these businesses here and Portugal can get rich and they can hire people and they can make everybody rich. And please understand economics. This is so much opportunity here.
Yeah. Vamos ver. Vou tentar ser mais otimista.
You need to look. I have a lot. I have quite a few Portuguese followers, but you have, of course, much more. Your job is to inspire this. Well, start with the young people, of course.
Mas temos que inspirar a mudança também, certo?
But inspire young people to start businesses, I think. And maybe this podcast helps a little bit. Start an internet business. Ask ChatGPT how to make a website. Ask ChatGPT, do you have business ideas? Like maybe you don't have business ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about yourself, because the more it's a personal business, the more competitive advantage you have, right?
Okay.
You don't want to make the same business as everybody else.
Exactly.
And start selling something on the internet. It's easier to sell something digital than physical, as you know. But you can sell anything. And then inspire your friends to do the same thing. And slowly you can create more entrepreneurship in Portugal.
Mas mesmo assim precisamos mudar o sistema, certo?
Yeah, because it's...
Mas achas que, por exemplo, as pessoas deviam falar com os seus pais, os jovens falar com os seus pais e perguntar porque é que votam nos partidos que fazem os mesmos erros sempre?
But I don't believe in politics as much that a new party will go in and then change things. I think it's kind of like the deep state in America. It's so entrenched right now that nothing's going to change. I think
nós precisamos do monarca, certo?
Yeah, but I think what you need is big pressure. Portuguese need to know this. They don't even know why it's poor. And then they blame the foreigners, right? This is the problem. So teaching them that this is not the foreigner problem. Foreigners actually, they bring a lot of money here. The problem is the system and it can improve. Look at Argentina. Look at Malay. Look at a lot of places. Look at America now. A lot of things are improving too. So,
a América é amazing.
Yeah.
Quando eu chego à América, parece que cheguei a férias. Tipo, não sei, há uma energia qualquer, uma dinâmica que é super relaxante.
The stress, it grabs on you, yeah.
Tu sentes isso também?
Yeah, so I've tried to disconnect from Portuguese services and business so much. We've bought a house. We want to get like solar, for example. We have a really good butcher. That's one of the examples. He's an amazing butcher. He complains about Portuguese. So we have amazing like grass-fed beef that has like a view over the cows have like a view over the sea. It's beautiful. And then he's like, all the Portuguese customers complain always to him about meat, or they want to get cheaper. And he's like, the foreigners here, they always give me compliments. They love the meat and they love the, you know what I mean? He prefers foreign customers, yeah. And but anyway, I try like we have our own house, we have our own stuff. I make my own coffee. You know, but you need to be more self-sufficient here. Because if I was in Miami, we would go out for coffee a lot. Like there's some good cafes, but Delta coffee is also not so good. You can't talk about Delta. The Delta is bad on Twitter. You get mobs. Like Delta is one of the worst coffees in the world. It's burnt. It's liti torrada. It's burnt coffee.
Eu não sei porquê, mas os portugueses gostam daquele tipo de café. Eu acho horrível, pessoal.
That's fine. You like this burnt coffee and you add milk. Okay.
I just say that's horrible.
Yeah, there's third wave coffee. It's coffee can taste flavorful and not burnt. Right. It tastes like tobacco, like cigarettes to me. But okay. So you become more self-sufficient. But this is sad because in Asia, I was the opposite of self-sufficient. Or in Miami, like we go outside for lots of food, lots of things. And I'd love to do that more in Portugal. And it is improving. I think so. But how to improve that? We create more businesses.
Vamos ver. Eu acho que as pessoas até deviam estar agradecidas. Os portugueses deviam estar agradecidos ao facto de dar a tua opinião, porque tu não tens nada a ganhar, na realidade.
Yeah, and you get a lot of hate when you talk about Portugal, so it's risky for me.
Eu penso que muita gente, especialmente a minha audiência, 20, 30, 40 anos, eu acho que eles compreendem exatamente qual é o problema e identificam-se com o que estás a dizer. Tanto é que eles estão a sair do país, não é?
Yeah. I think you probably have a lot of foreign Portuguese, foreign living.
E também acho que até os políticos e tudo, é importante ouvir uma pessoa como eu estou a falar. E eu sei que há muitos políticos que veem este podcast e é bom eles escutarem o que é que uma pessoa que teve todo mundo, o que é que acha sobre Portugal, quais são as coisas que acha que estão bom, as coisas que estão mal.
You have an opportunity. Like, you have an opportunity to change Portugal.
É o sistema, mas sabes, tipo, está tudo ligado. Não é?
I understand,
Complexo.
it's very difficult, yeah.
De qualquer das maneiras, estou super feliz por ter estado aqui, foi espetacular esta conversa. Tu ainda querias dizer alguma coisa?
Yeah, I bought a gift for you. I got a gift for you.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
The hat.
Make Europe great again.
Make Europe great again. So you won't believe, I created a hat for Portugal and it didn't arrive on time. It's Faz Portugal Grande outra vez.
Make Europe great again.
There's a photo I can show you.
Talvez deva usar, não?
So I made this one. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Wait, I'll make it less bright. Second. Faz. Faz Portugal Grande outra vez. Man, I asked a lot of Portuguese to spell it proper, like fazer, faz, or faça, but it's faz. Yeah. And the back has a beautiful emblem of the Portuguese flag from 1500 on levels.io.com.
I'm so tired of Europe, you know.
Yeah. Well, then you shouldn't wear it, but...
Mas a cena é... Talvez eu deva ser mais otimista.
Yeah.
É porque eu sou português, eu sou europeu, tenho que ter mais energia. Porque eu olho para a geopolítica e fico triste e preocupado.
Yeah, but how old are you?
42.
So I think like we're getting older, you know.
Yeah,
and it's hard to stay.
No,
because you have more information, you have more data. It's hard to stay positive about stuff like this, you know.
Okay.
Because generally, people that get older, they become politically, like they become less flexible, neuroflex, right?
Okay.
Their neurons become less flexible, so they become more pessimistic. Because I've seen things not change for a long time. But if you look at history, like history is great to read on Wikipedia because you see a lot of things changing.
É verdade.
You see,
as coisas mudam.
And you need to look at the history to see the opportunity.
Nós temos que olhar para o exemplo da Argentina. As coisas podem mudar.
Exactly. Exactly.
Só uma última pergunta.
Yeah.
Tu fazes o teu tipo de business com agentes ou com Corona Jobs ou qualquer coisa assim, sozinho. E, por a minha experiência, é uma empresa de um funcionário é diferente de uma empresa de 10 funcionários, é diferente de uma empresa de 100 funcionários e por aí adiante.
Yeah.
Tu pensas fazer uma coisa diferente e crescer ou queres continuar a usar o teu modelo de negócio?
Yeah, so the question is like, I think it's about revenue. Like, do you want to make like 100 million? Like, because Prozis is much bigger than my company, right?
Exactly.
Do you want to make like 5 million or 10 million or 100 million or $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
And I think, as you know, I think like you don't need that much money to be happy. Like more,
100%.
More money becomes more like a game, like a high score. Like, let's make, pros, let's make 100 million this year.
Não estou a falar só de números, estou a falar da experiência. É uma experiência diferente.
The people, man, at my depressed moments.
Boss.
I'm not depressed anymore, but at my depressed moment, I thought like, it would be so nice to have like people in an office and, but it's a lot. It can, like, once you have now things I think sorted, it operates very well, but it can be very stressful.
É muito estressante,
People are very dynamic. Like robots are not dynamic. Robots keep working 24 hours. They never go sick leave. They always work.
É um tipo de jogo diferente.
People can scam you. People can fuck you over. People can be emotional.
Talvez não tenhas as skills para lidar com pessoas.
I don't because I mean,
fizeste, não é?
Well, I've hired a few people like contractors, so I kind of know, but still, like, not at your skill. So I think it would be, you never know, never, right? But maybe in 10 years. But
tu precisarias de skill set diferente.
I think it would be cool to work with like the top like AI people, like a team make some kind of model, for example. That would sound like cool to me. Like, but I wouldn't do 150 people. I would do like 3 or 4 people, make some really like groundbreaking stuff.
Pessoas super mega inteligentes para fazer cenas.
Yeah, like because right now I'm like on the application level, right? Like I make websites, apps and stuff, but they use AI models of other companies, right? It would be cool to go one higher level where you really make the new stuff. But then the market dynamics of that don't really make sense. The models,
Eu acho que os
they
modelos
don't
não
have
vão
a,
ser lucrativos.
they're not profitable, and there's no competitive benefit to these models. And people switch so fast. It's one click, and they switch to another model. So it looks like the competitive
É como
advantage.
uma commodity.
It's a commodity. It's commodification of AI models. So the real money is in the front end, in the ChatGPT front end, not the model.
Conexão com o cliente.
Exactly. So I shouldn't do that. But and then for what do I need people? I don't really need people because it's So it would be nice to start like a cafe, right?
Eu
Like,
acho que ia ser interessante o primeiro mês. Yeah.
Exactly. It's more like the guys used to have this dream of like, let's start a bar, you know, with their friends, and then they get drunk. Like, was not a good idea.
Acho que é só romântico, não é?
It's romantic. I always wanted to create like an automatic cafe, like a robot cafe. So you come in and it looks nice, looks beautiful.
Não, eu acho que isso é interessante. Tipo robotics. Eu acho que
Yeah.
os robôs vão mudar o mundo completamente.
That would be sick to do. That I thought a lot about that. Like, because AI is the technology, the software that can make robots finally good enough, you know?
Exactly.
Like if you can try and ChatGPT, say like you're a robot, and if you want to move your arm left, say left, etc. And you upload a photo of like your living room, and then it says like front, left. Like it can literally already do that. So AI makes robots very possible. So I thought about doing robotics, but I don't really know. I don't really have a problem yet that I want to solve. Like I thought cleaning the house is like annoying.
Isso seria bom.
But yeah.
Os robôs vão resolver muitos problemas.
100%. Like think about the elderly care. There will be a huge market. Man, some Portuguese kid that's now listening should do that startup. Because there will be not enough people to take care of us, like all the elderly.
Yeah, mas tu ainda tens energia. Tipo, eu quando olho para um negócio pequeno, eu digo, fuck, isto não é para mim. Eu já estou muito velho.
To make new businesses. Yeah, because all the other ones are automated, so I'm kind of bored. Like this plane game you saw was literally me being like, everything's done, and I'm sitting on the couch bored.
Okay.
Let's try and make I asked first, can you make Mario Kart, you know, in HTML or something? It didn't work. I was like, fuck it, let's make Flight Simulator. Because I was annoyed with my real Flight Simulator, Microsoft, it didn't load.
Yeah.
And then it makes it, and you have a plane game, and then you have a new project. It just kind of happens, you know? So I think for me, I'm more creative. It's more creativity than business, right?
Yeah,
I like the creative aspects of it, and then I like to show it to the world, and then I like to add the money thing to it. Like see if it's a business.
Understand.
But it's more like a creative thing for me. I love creating things. Like it was same with making music, same with making businesses now.
Eu gosto de mudar o mundo.
Yeah.
Não sei porquê. Feeling. Sorry.
No, but having impact on society is amazing. Like I feel real
Melhorar a
impact.
vida das pessoas.
Yeah. I had a real impact, I feel, on nomads, on people. Like there's a lot of people now living in Bali. There's a whole community. There's everywhere. And part of it is that because of my website or because of me, because it inspired them to travel. So I think that it's really cool to have that feeling in your identity. Like you wake up and you did something to the world, you know? It's cool to have. It's better than money. I mean, money is nice, but this is like...
Eu nunca trabalhei por dinheiro.
No.
A minha experiência é... se tu aprendes bué de cenas e trabalhares bué... é quase inevitável ganhar dinheiro.
I think there's this quote, like people say in SF, in technology, like you create a lot of value for the world, and then you can capture with a business a small percentage of that value. That's it. So you create, for example, a $1 billion digital nomad market, and you capture a little bit.
Essa é a cena que a esquerda não percebe. Nem a esquerda, nem a direita. Não percebem que se tu estiveres a ganhar dinheiro legalmente e eticamente, tu estás a melhorar a vida das pessoas.
Yeah, you're improving. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, there's always exceptions like dumping nuclear waste. You know, obviously not. But if you're creating, like ChatGPT, for example, it's improving 500 million people's lives now. 500 million weekly users. So people's lives is better. My life is better because of it.
Às vezes vou para os Estados Unidos e fico com inveja. Porque eles fazem sempre as merdas top.
Yeah, but we are European. So it's our duty to make Europe do great shit again. And and like I'm not so you're more Portuguese nationalist, I guess. But I'm not so nationalist about Dutch, but I'm a Euro nationalist. Like I love Europe.
Que eu não me interesso por Portugal.
But you love Portugal.
Pelos portugueses, não é? Eu estou conectado aos portugueses, não é? Como é normal. Tipo, eu estou conectado aos europeus, porque eu sou europeu, não é?
Exactly.
Mas se vejo um país que tem um sistema que não funciona e que está a produzir destruição e vai caminhar para a destruição, é claro que não gosto, mas claro, eu sinto-me conectado definitivamente aos portugueses.
Me too, man.
Mas fico com inveja.
No, but I'm jealous also. And they're doing things really well. and it's really cool and it inspires me. And there's another thing, like you see when people are successful, you see some people
mas eles têm um sistema.
they have the system, yeah. But when people are successful, you see some people get jealous and they're like, what an asshole. Like, and you see other people that get inspired, say, how did he do that? Like, I want to do that too. And you need to do that with America. Like, you need to see what they're doing. They're doing something, right?
Yeah.
And get that. Do it here or wherever. I mean, Asia's doing it. Asia's copying whatever America was doing and then doing it in some ways better, more modern.
Yeah.
So we need to do something.
Let's do it.
Because if you don't do anything, like what is this expression? Like if you don't choose, it will be chosen for you. Life chooses for you.
Yeah.
The decision will happen anyway.
Yeah.
And Europe will get stagnant, will get poor. Portugal will get poorer if you don't fix it. And then
Eu não sei se será tarde demais, não sei.
I think it's the start of a new time. You can do it. But I'm fresh, you know? But I think you need this fresh
Eu acho
vibe.
que preciso fazer reset ao meu cérebro. Eu preciso de
You need like this
inspiração.
brain reset.
Não, foi tão fixe ter-te aqui, meu, foi um prazer, altamente.
Nós concordamos.
E nós concordamos.
We agree to do it, you know? Nós concordamos.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a
Obrigado.
pleasure. Obrigado.